So I'm making a switch from Spotify to YouTube Music, and I've compiled a list of comparisons between the two. So if you've ever been curious about what these streaming services have to offer, this video is for you. So in the past couple of years, there's been a lot of debate on what the premier streaming platform is for music. I know there's a ton of them out there right now, but some of the main ones, Apple Music, YouTube Music, Spotify, are your top tier, I guess, is what most people use. Today I'm going to focus on YouTube Music and Spotify because those are the two that I primarily use. So I'll caveat to say that I've been using Spotify since about 2012. So I've been using it a long time, and I've found that in the past year, others have been doing a lot better. In my opinion, I've compiled a list of some of the differences and then some of the comparison between YouTube Music, which is what I'm moving to, and Spotify, and then just see if maybe it'll help you out. Maybe it'll help you make a decision on what you'd rather use. All right, so this is all the most current information. So I went through and just found some of the main things that myself as a musician or as a music producer and mainly a listener, if I'm just out and about, going to the gym, etc. So some of the things that I'd focus on, highlighted the cells in green, which is what I think technically wins the category, but doesn't necessarily mean that one of the others better because of it. It just means that it either has it or it doesn't, or it actually just does it better for some reason. Okay, so the price, YouTube Music price, which is $13.99, that's your individual. So individual yearly is going to be $119. I think it's a little bit cheaper if you do the yearly because it has that option. And then Spotify, you just have an $11.99 flat rate. I don't think you could do yearly, or I didn't see an option for that. And then YouTube does have the family plan, which is $22. Spotify has both a duo and a family. You can see the prices there. So obviously Spotify is a little bit cheaper. I don't think the YouTube Music is as bad as it seems, even though it's really only like $2 more, because of some of the other features that I'm going to talk about. Okay, audio quality. Now this is a big one, which kind of almost deterred me to move to YouTube Music, but in reality is, unless you're listening to headphones like this, like these are high quality headphones, or using like Baron Dynamic, or you're in a high quality studio, you're really not going to tell the difference between anything below 120 below 128. So 128 is your radio quality, stuff here on the radio, and that's been used forever. So 320, I mean, that's great for Spotify to have, but reality is like that it's negligible differences with regular headphones, regular AirPods, etc. So 256, which is the music side of YouTube Music, because you do have an option to switch from listen to music or listen to a video. So so here, like let's say for example, I want to listen to just a song, I could do that, or I can watch the video or listen to the song at the same time in the YouTube app. So with that, that's the quality you're getting. If you're listening to music, it's 250 up to 256, depending on how the distributor or distribution goes. Same thing for Spotify. I mean, if you're distributing music that's less than 320, that's what you're going to get, but the max quality is going to be 320. Okay, so Spotify wins that for sure, but again, it's irrelevant. Anything, I mean, that's a great quality just to have. Even that's if you're just listening to a video, like I couldn't tell a difference outside of listening to something like this. So yeah, you do get your offline download. So I think YouTube Music's like unlimited. Spotify does have a cap, but it's huge. You won't ever reach your max unless you're crazy. Now the music library, this is where it gets interesting, because yes, Spotify has all the official releases. It has any type of music you can think of. And YouTube to me wins because not only does it have the official releases from distribution, it also has user uploaded which is probably the main reason I really enjoy YouTube Music now, is because you don't really know what's official and what's not. And that could be good and bad, because you do want to essentially go for official music if you're like looking for a big artist, etc. That's what you want to get. But at the same time, for artists that are getting into trying to bring in the scene, etc., it kind of opens it up to a wide variety of musicians and also remixes. So the library is just huge, and I think YouTube Music definitely wins that. Podcasts, YouTube Music doesn't have any. I think if you're just watching YouTube, you probably would want to watch that. I've never been huge in this podcasts personally, even on Spotify. But if that's something you really enjoy, I just go to Apple Podcasts if I want to check out a podcast specifically. And that's just me, because it should be free anyway. Like, Apple Podcasts is literally free, and I don't have to listen to ads, which if you wanted something free from Spotify, you're gonna have to listen to ads. So, but again, if that's something you like on Spotify, then that's gonna be on Spotify and not on YouTube Music, the app. All right, music videos. So this is again something that's different. Is YouTube Music, the app does have the videos and song, and then obviously YouTube regular app is just all videos. So there's that. Spotify doesn't have music videos. User uploads, again, part of the music library part. Or anybody who is an artist can literally go to YouTube, upload a song with the cover, and you can go into YouTube Music right as soon as I finish uploading it and listen to that song. You can't do that on Spotify. You have to go through the distributor, DistroKid, Ditto Music, etc. There's a little bit of a process. They have to pay for it, get it uploaded, boom. So it's a process, but I think that's why Spotify has always been like the official music. Which, again, not a problem with that, but I think you open yourself up for a lot of music listening opportunity with there being user uploads. Both have pretty good music curation. I think Spotify is really well known for its music curation. I have noticed a lot of times with Spotify, even in the past year or two, that it's like that with any kind of music that you come across. Like, you have this one song you put in your playlist, you listen over and over and over. But Spotify does kind of have that, like, you find a genre of music and it just kind of stays within certain types of songs, etc. And then you have your popularity contest music, which I hate on Spotify. I've always hated that. Your top 40, your whatever, and that's fine. You have to have that. YouTube has that too, but I think YouTube's ability to just go on and on with adding music is pretty insane. So, like, I was building a library of Afro House music, and if I want to add more, I can literally just go down here and refresh this, which is something that Spotify has, but I don't think it's as good in my opinion. But it's fine. Like, they both do the job. One thing I didn't notice was that you have these additional playlists that you can always check out. So that's kind of cool. I didn't even know that was there. I don't think anybody necessarily wins on music curation, even though I think YouTube slightly edges it out. And then the last thing is anything additional that one has that the other doesn't have. There are more than this, but I think primarily these are the things that kind of separate the two. And the main one for YouTube, obviously, what you're getting for that $13.99 is you're getting the ad-free YouTube. So I can watch any video on YouTube. I spend a lot of time on YouTube. Obviously, if you're watching this, you spend a lot of time on YouTube too. So you get that ad-free YouTube, which is what I got about a year ago, and didn't really realize YouTube Music was that good to be able to just say, all right, I already have YouTube Premium, so might as well just go to YouTube Music because I already have it. So essentially, YouTube Premium and YouTube Music Premium are together, so you're paying for one. So That in itself kind of pays for it, but to just throw out, if you're just wanting YouTube music in general, um, again, includes that user generated content, covers, remixes, live performances. So the remixes is another one. Like I made a lot of remixes as a producer, so I was able to, you're able to upload to YouTube without getting hit with copyright. I think even on SoundCloud, I got hit with more copyright than I ever thought I would. YouTube does hit you copyright. It does content ID, which gives it to the artist. So it essentially won't hit you unless you're uploading something like really popular. And most artists really don't care anymore about that unless you're trying to make money from it all by itself. But if they don't have content ID on YouTube, then it's free game. But I think the majority of stuff would, but it doesn't prevent you from uploading that. Like a lot of my remixes that I've uploaded, I think only one has a restriction on like certain areas where you can listen to, but for the most part, everything's been up there. And then Spotify does have like your collaborative playlists. So like, you know, you can have multiple people working on the same playlist, which is kind of cool. You have the jam session thing, which I've used like once or twice. It's cool, but you know, I always like to listen to music on my own. But you know, if you have somebody that loves to listen to music at the same time as you can do that. And then the platform integration, it's kind of a big thing too for a lot of people, because it's on the Xbox, it's on PlayStation. You have apps everywhere. Like this app on the this app right here is really not an official app. It's like a makeshift app. I know they're probably working on a lot. They do have obviously the iOS app, which is cool, but they don't really have a Mac app or a Windows app where Spotify does, right? So some of that may deter you from wanting to just mess around with YouTube music. Like I know a lot of people use it on PlayStation, which is cool. You can listen to the background, etc. So, but again, like for me, if I do want to check out Spotify, like I can still listen to it because I can get it for free. You're just gonna have the ads. And speaking of the ads part, you're limited with skips on Spotify free version. I think you can skip like 5 maybe before it just won't let you skip anymore. It's like Pandora, right? And then YouTube Music is the free version is similar to watching YouTube videos. So you'll be able to skip it after a couple of seconds, but you have unlimited skip. So I mean, if you just want to do the free version of that, that's fine too. So that's pretty much the difference. In my opinion, I think YouTube Music is doing a lot of things good. I think the integration of the video and music, and just being able to listen to a lot of other stuff that's out there is great. I do think Spotify does edge it on the music side a little bit, has better integration. But I personally don't think it's worth paying extra when I already have YouTube Premium. So if you have YouTube Premium and didn't really know this much about YouTube Music and what it offers, hey, you might just want to switch over like the way I'm doing. But if you have if I know a friend of mine who has like a family plan with Spotify, which is cool, and he's like, I can't give it up. I'm like, okay, totally understand. And I get that share playlists, whatever the case. But I just think that YouTube Music has a lot that it offers for the price and the fact that it's combined with YouTube Premium. So let me know what you're listening to music on, and if you want to hear some of the comparisons between others, or if you feel like I missed something or left something out, or if you have any other additional questions, just let me know. And as always, appreciate you watching, and I will see you on the next one.